Hey everybody, it's your favorite traveler in the entire world, Imani B, coming to you for Monetize Monday. Yes, we got another video. I told y'all I'm going to keep these videos up weekly for y'all because I want to help everybody win. I want to help as many people win as I possibly can. And one of the biggest things that will help you to monetize any social media platform as a content creator is being verified on social media. It's just one of those things that people often say that it's a vanity metric, but in some instances, it isn't. Because the idea of being verified is literally just verifying who you are, that you are not a catfish, that you are not a robot, right? That you are an actual human being that exists, that is doing work that is recognizable somewhere out in the world, right? So ultimately, this one is about Twitter verification. Now, personally, I'm verified on both Instagram and Twitter. Now, for me, I feel like the process is much more seamless when it comes to Twitter. Twitter shut down their process for a while. It was like over a year, I think. And then when they came back with a bang. They came back with a process that was absolutely seamless, absolutely user-friendly. You could tell that whomever is running their verification process, they're doing it right. Now, granted, obviously some people applied, they didn't get it. People be salty because, everybody thinks that, I should be able to qualify. I felt the same way with Instagram. Instagram, I applied, I don't know how many times. To be honest with you, I think that back channel that Instagram has you do within the app is just for you to chase your tail. I really don't think that it helps you to get verified because it didn't help me get verified, and I still can't get verified on Facebook, which Instagram is the same company. So I don't get it. I feel like Twitter is a much easier process, a much more seamless process. So we're gonna get into how it is that you can get verified on Twitter. So let's do it. All right, so the process that I went through was very easy, it was very seamless. I applied one time and I got verification, okay? Now, the one thing that you have to identify is, number one, who are you? And that's no shade. But the verification process is a process to verify notable people, to verify that these notable people are authentic people. If you remember when social media first hit the ground running and pages were, like Twitter and stuff like that, there will always be another page saying that it was a celebrity, saying that it was this particular person, and trolling people and doing all other kinds of things. So really the verification process from social media came from a necessity to identify the who's who. You know what I mean? I can identify that this person is The Rock, that this person is Halle Berry, that this person is Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that whomever the trolls are creating these fake pages, you can obviously identify that this is not the real person because they're not verified. So that's really where it comes birth from. So you have to decide, okay, well, who are you? Who are you to be verified? And that's no shade. It's just a matter of saying, okay, do you have the credentials? Do you have the stuff that is required for you to actually get verified? So for example, for me, I applied for verification in Twitter as a journalist. Twitter has it now that you can literally apply within the app, within the Twitter app. And you can also go online, but if you have the app on your phone, you can apply from the Twitter app, and it's very, very easy. What it asked me for was three things that I needed to begin with. Number one, I needed an official website. As a journalist, most journalists have a portfolio, right? So if you're a content creator and you don't have your own website, you need to make sure that you find a platform. I don't even care if it's a blog. Find a platform, WordPress, Tumblr, Substack, something to be able to put your work on it, right? So that way you have your own official website that showcases your work, right? Got it. So then the next thing is ID verification. I had to either upload my driver's license, state ID, or my passport. And I'm saying all of those options because I don't even remember which one I did. I don't know. But you have to upload your ID. It has to be state issued or government issued in some aspect, okay? And then you also have to have an official email address. Now for me, my email address is pretty much my branding, so it just coincides with it. But if, for example, if you're saying that you're somebody who works for a specific entity, you say you work for Meta, you say you work for Glamour magazine, then you need to have an actual official website byron.williams@meta.com. Like, that's what they mean by when they say official email address. Okay, so once you do that, you put that information in. And then also for me, I had to either put in 3 articles, I believe it was 3 articles that I had written within the last 6 months, okay? Or a combination of 3 articles that I had either written or had been featured in. So that's important. That's really important to identify, because people don't understand the importance of getting featured in places. And guess what? You don't have to have an article that's written solely about you. Now, granted, I've had articles written solely about me, but also I've had journalists come to me and ask me just simply for my commentary and quote me in an article. That comes up on your Google News. Like, when people Google your name and they hit that news button, whatever it is that you provided commentary on. So if you're a thought leader in a space, if you talk about health and wellness, if you talk about building a business in tech, if you talk about coaching people to become entrepreneurs, then you need to find and identify who are those journalists that are going to help you pretty much be that thought leader, to have you in Business Insider, to have you in Vogue magazine, to have you in Eater if you're somebody who's a food connoisseur. Whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that it's not just about like having a feature full article about you, but also having those media mentions where you tell them, you know, about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They quote you by name, and now, boom, those analytics are in your favor to say, oh, okay, well, there's somebody to look after. And it's important to identify that blogs are cool, but you really want to try to get in as many like notable, more well-known publications. And that's just no shade. It's just that that's how the metrics are measured. That's how the SEO is measured. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the time, if you're looking for the who's who and the what's what, it's going to be Forbes. It's going to be Glamour magazine. It's going to be, you know what I mean? It's going to be those top tier publications. So find those journalists who write in your sphere of influence, your niche, and say, hey, I'm a thought leader in this space. Are you writing any articles that you could use a voice about? So that way you can constantly be quoted in different stuff. Okay, so 3 things that Twitter says that you need in order to receive a verification badge. You must be authentic, you must be notable, and you must be active. If you're not active, what I need you to do is I need you to go and I need you to dust off your Twitter page, okay? Get the cobwebs off your Twitter account and start tweeting, start retweeting, start getting active again, because they're going to pay attention. If you have not been active in the last 6 months, you will not be verified. And why would they? Like, why would they verify an account that was open in 2006 but hasn't tweeted since 2012? Like, for what? Like, what are we doing here? So make sure that you are actually active. Another thing, make sure you follow the @verified page. It's literally the page that is about Twitter verification. It's @verified, okay? I will literally put all the instructions below, so that way you can click on it, you can get right to it. All the instructions, but then also the Twitter verified page that you need to follow, because sometimes they have updates. Sometimes they actually shut the application process down. And that is your first contact of knowing if that happens, right? And you can actually engage with whomever it is that runs it. You can actually engage with that person and ask them whatever questions, and a lot of times they answer those questions. And another thing, you know, you don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be, you know, an entertainer, all of those things. Some people are like, oh, they won't verify me because I'm a content creator or whatever. No, actually, Twitter has stipulations specifically for content creators. And those stipulations are, one of the things is you have to meet the criteria of having a significant presence on the platform. So they measure that by 0.05 percentile. Okay, of where it is that you measure, whether it's your tweets are constantly going viral, you're constantly being retweeted, you're constantly being quote tweeted, whatever the case may be, you want to be in that top 0.05% of people that are on Twitter causing disruption, causing conversation. And not disruption in a bad way. I mean, you're causing dialogue. You're causing people to constantly share what it is that you're tweeting about. And you have to be authentic, okay? So authenticity can be measured in, like I said, any links to your content, a Wikipedia page, not that you had somebody do on Fiverr, but an actual Wikipedia page that they can measure. And then Google Trends, wherever it is that you trend in Google, that's another reason why it is that you want to be somebody who's being quoted in different articles for different publications on television. If you can get on TV, I've been on NBC, I've been on Fox Business, I've been on BBC, I've been on all of these things. All of those things come up on my Google Trends. All of those come up on my analytics and in my news feed. So you definitely want to do that. You want to make sure that you're coming up in these things. So when Twitter goes to check your application, they're like, okay, who is this person? They're like, oh, well, sheesh, this person really has what is necessary to get verified. And like I said, I applied one time, and it was there, okay? So literally, if you go on the web, you're gonna go to your settings, you're gonna go to privacy, you're gonna hit your account, you're gonna hit account information. And then once you put in your password to authenticate it, it'll allow you, you'll see where it says like request verification, okay? It's the same thing in the app. You go through your settings, you go to your account, you go, and it has that request verification button, and it's literally a full process where you'll take a picture of your ID, where you'll put some links that you've been mentioned in, where you'll put your website and all of that other information. And that's that. That's literally how it is that you get verified on Twitter. But just make sure you're active. You got to be active. And the great thing about being verified on Twitter is that Twitter is not a measurement of how many followers you have. You can have 500 followers on Twitter and still get verified, because the whole point is that you are who it is that you say you are, and you're moving and shaking in your industry. I don't have a lot of followers on Twitter in comparison to my Instagram, but I'm still verified because I am who I say I am, and you know, I got those Google analytics. So next week, I guarantee you, next week our conversation is going to be how it is that you land in those big name publications. Because I've been in them, your girl's been in them, okay? How do you land in those big publications to help you with this process of getting verified? So make sure, hit that bell. You don't want to miss this. Hit the bell, hit subscribe. Tell me in the comments if there's any questions that you may have, any concerns that you may have. If you're looking to apply for verification and you're like, okay, these are some things that I don't have and I need help, hit your girl up. But make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell, and make sure you stay tuned for next week when I'm telling you all how you can get into these big name publications. Okay, it's another Monetized Monday. Y'all have an amazing, amazing week.